All right, in Britain, a case of if in doubt, keep them out. Ever since we learned that a variant of the virus has bedeviled the United Kingdom here, a number of other European Union countries, to say nothing of our own, are looking askance at the possibility of bringing British passengers or anyone from Britain into this country. A number of airlines have already made moves to test Brits coming here, or anywhere else for that matter, to make sure they do not have the virus, but it's come at the worst time for Britain, already dealing with a spike in cases and a slowing economy to deal with that. Let's get to read from Nile Gardiner on all of this, the former foreign policy advisor under Maggie Thatcher. Niall, good to have you. Merry Christmas, my friend. But
Merry
it's not
Christmas,
looking like a merry one for your wonderful country here. I'm wondering where this is going. You know, as soon as we got news of this variant of the virus, people were kind of closing their doors to the Brits. What are you hearing now?
Well, it has been just an extraordinary year for the United Kingdom on so many fronts. And now you have a new strain of COVID-19 that apparently has a much higher transmission rate. It doesn't seem to be more deadly, but it's easier to transmit by all accounts. And hence you have the travel bans being implemented by dozens of European countries at the moment. And of course, this is causing a lot of worry and concern ahead of the December 31st deadline for Britain's exit from the European single market and customs union, and the increasing likelihood as well of a no-deal Brexit on December 31st. So on so many fronts, immense challenges for the British government. But, I think there are, a couple of reasons for optimism in terms of the big picture, Neil. Firstly, the European Commission executive branch of the European Union today urged all EU member states to lift the travel ban on the United Kingdom. So we'll see if European countries follow that, especially the French, of course, who in effect are blockading British freight from entering the country at the moment, causing huge log jams of lorries on the Kent coast of the United Kingdom. I think, secondly, the UK was the first country in the world to introduce a COVID vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine. That rollout actually has been very successful. There's no indication, Neil, that the vaccine being introduced is ineffective against the new strain of COVID-19. So that's very good news. And also, in addition to that, AstraZeneca and Oxford University have combined together to launch a new third vaccine in addition to the existing two American vaccines. And so the British are also leading the way in terms of vaccine development. And that's good news as well for the United Kingdom on the horizon for 2021.
I just wonder, though, dealing with Brexit, dealing with all the other things that accompany that, and then this, this COVID variant that's happened here, never mind the fact that vaccine makers say that their vaccines would, in fact, address this. It seems to be coming at the worst time for Britain, for Boris Johnson in particular. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And, Boris Johnson has had an incredibly difficult year. And let's not forget that he actually contracted the COVID-19 virus back in March, April.
Right.
And he was actually on he was in an extremely gravely dangerous situation at one stage, and he recovered from that, survived COVID. And now he's leading Britain towards a full Brexit on December 31st and dealing with a new mutation of the COVID-19 virus. So he's coming under very heavy fire for his handling overall of the COVID response. But I think every single European government has faced tremendous challenges in terms of addressing the virus, including the German government, actually, which was the European leader in terms of the early COVID response. And the Germans now are facing, tremendous challenges in terms of addressing the latest COVID situation. So you're seeing lockdowns emerging across Europe, including across huge swathes of the United Kingdom, known as Tier 4 regions, about 16 million people covered. But every European government is facing tremendous difficulty in addressing the situation. I do think overall, Boris Johnson has handled the virus in the best way he possibly could. And I think a lot of the criticism of Boris Johnson has been actually very, very unfair. Any leader would have found this to be an extremely difficult situation, extremely difficult leadership moment. But I think that Britain overall I think it's going to do very, very well in 2021. It has led as the first country in the world in introducing the vaccine. And I think that is a real demonstration of leadership. And also the US and the UK work closely together in terms of vaccine development. And once again, the US-UK special relationship is leading the world. It's because of the work of US and British scientists, mainly, that we are seeing the vaccines being introduced. And we're seeing Great Britain and the United States standing together, shoulder to shoulder, on the world stage, developing the rescue package, basically, in terms of the vaccines that will save the free world from COVID-19. That, of course, is a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don, thank you very, very much. Very good seeing you. Be safe and healthy yourself. Nile Gardiner.